Hi guys, I'm McFluree from the Biz Crew. So we have our own Discord server. Basically before the channel even started, we have 280 members now. It's quite big. Usually there's 90 people online. So this channel is run by the moderator team, and yeah, we just decided to start some videos, and here we go. This is the first one, and it is about what tiers YouTube best. So I know this is a tier 9 replay, right? But let's start with tier 1 to tier 5. So I think we can fit all what I want to say in this one replay. So tier 1 to tier 5, I want to say that there is basically no diversity, and that you should play it as a noob, but I understand if it is boring, because there's just no diversity thanks to update 5.5. As you remember, we had the Durchbruchswagen 2, which was an OP heavy tank, which you could prepare for playing the Tiger, or you had all of those TDs, the light tanks, the medium tanks with armor, you had the BT7 artillery. All those fun tanks got removed, so it's just boring now, and you should play it if you are a noob, but obviously nobody else does, because you can just not train as well as you used to do. So let's continue with tier 6. So I want to say that tier 6, it is a high gamble. If you face tier 5, it's fun. If you face tier 7, it's shit, because if you face tier 7, it means that you're gonna face a Smasher, or an Annihilator, or a Dracula, or a Helsing. Now, tell me, what are you gonna do if you play like one of the most broken tier 6, the Thunder? What are you gonna do if you face a Smasher? What are you gonna do? Nothing. There's nothing you can do about. Or if you face a Helsing, or in a Hellcat, or if you are an ARL and you face like another Smasher, they can just erase half of your HP. So it's just, if you face tier 5 tanks, then you're gonna rip them apart, because obviously an ARL 54 or ARL 55, sorry, it's just impenetrable to most of the tier 5s. So it's fun, but if you play like tier 7, nope. So tier 7 basically, do you have Annihilator? Do you have Smasher? Nope. Then don't play tier 7. Then it's just useless. Then don't even bother with it. Don't even think about it. It's useless, because you're gonna rip it apart. And for example, you can play the Type 62, which is a fun light tank. Yeah. Do you want to get one-shot by the Annihilator, or do you want to get one-shotted by the Smasher? Your choice. So now tier 8, we have the problem that it is basically now the playground of most players, as tier 5 is no fun, tier 4, tier 3, tier 1, tier 2, no fun, and tier 6 you can face like Annihilators, yeah, and tier 7 you can meet some Smashers, and tier 8 is the tier you can get by just paying 10 euros, you got a cool tier 8 broken tank, yeah, you're just gonna spam it, and there you go. Now tier 8 is basically now the playground to develop some skill, because you can just don't do it anymore, as tier 1 to tier 7 is ruined by broken tanks or by boringness. And it's still competitive, so that's why you get some dummies in the tier 8 matchmaking. And tier 9, I want to say, it is a high gamble, because tier 9 is basically, are you gonna be top tier or are you gonna be bottom tier? And if you're gonna be bottom tier, you're gonna struggle against those tier 10s. But if you are top tier, then you're gonna have some really fun time, because obviously a T54, if you're gonna meet it against tier 10, it's still good. Don't worry, but look at how much damage I bounce. Like, there you go, 2 shells, and obviously I played in 0 down, so I'm gonna get like penned everywhere, but if I don't stay it all down. And in tier 8, you're almost impenetrable even on the hull armor, which makes it kind of a good tank in tier 8, but a bad tank in tier 10. And in tier 9 there are many tanks you gotta have to grind that are really shit. For example, the Tortoise, which is pennable on every side if you just take some gold shells. And for example, if you... Oh yeah, also I want to say that you're gonna make a shit loss of credits if you don't play well in tier 9 and tier 10. So yeah, it is just a large gamble, and it depends on the tank real much. As you play an AMX 30 Premier Prototype, you're gonna do also well in tier 10. So let's switch to tier 10, the final tier, which is basically, let's put this ace in the background, which is basically just competitive, and you're gonna be obviously top tier every time. Meet some really dummies who just spammed tier 9 to grind up a tier 10. Obviously you need some skill, and you also face some highly skilled players. So tier 10 is... there is only a limited amount of tanks you are gonna play to do well in it. For example, in enemy lineup, the Batchet C25 is not even competitive anymore. It is basically, I would say, a bad tank. It is underpowered, and many people still play it. So you're gonna have some fun, basically ripping it apart as a T57 heavy. Man, I struggle with the pronunciation today. Still early. So as you can see, you got 2 tier 9s in it. They're gonna do like really awful matches in it. So the STI, I think, almost did 0 damage, and the VK45 basically almost the same, because there's not much you can do. And for example, yeah, the VK72, you're gonna see it pretty soon. LOL, 0 damage. Like, you're gonna meet some useless people, and it's just a pain in the ass fighting with them, but it's just really fun fighting against them. So we're just gonna skip till the end, which is boring as hell to watch it, to be honest. So let's just put it there. The T57 Heavy almost got the Resaigne, which would have been his first Resaigne, and his platoon mate leaves him the kill. 6 kills, and of course the ace. But let's see it. Look at this, man. Just look at this. 0 damage, 55%. Yeah. Now, watch in what tanks he got them. See, tier 7, tier 6, tier 5, of course you have a good win rate. Then in tier 7, then there's nothing you can do in tier 10, because you just have 0 experience. And here we have the STI, which is basically an awful player. Then the IS-8, which is an awful player too. And see, you're just gonna meet so many noobs, and Albach in this case, he's a real good player, like 58%. And this guy here, you're gonna meet so many dummies in, especially those high tiers, who are just gonna spam it. 47%, man. So tier 10, if you are a competitive player, try tier 9, tier 10. If you have Smasher, Annihilate, Dracula, or Helsing, try tier 7 or try tier 7. If you have fun risking your entire stats, and then play tier 6. And then if you think it's fun playing some boring tanks like the STUG, then play tier 1 to tier 5. And tier 8 is just like... Tier 8 is just a mixture of snoobs and pros and broken tanks and shit tanks, and obviously it's the most popular of tiers. So I hope I can help out with this small, what's it called, like a review? Not really, so I couldn't help you out with this video. So I'm McFluree, and see you all guys. See ya.